What's good, y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I'm Wayno. Good morning. How y'all feeling? If you like what it is that we do over here, hit that sub button, hit them likes, and run up that hype. Today we talking about Pooh Shiesty. I don't know if y'all familiar with Pooh Shiesty coming out of Memphis, but he was one of the most popping youngins coming out the streets. Made a trend for the ski mask being called the Shiesty. Like, that became damn near a household name to the point where, you know, people was complaining about the whole thing regarding shiesties, me in particular. Let me not sit here in front and act like I'm just cool with that. I don't like seeing young people with ski masks on if it's not freezing cold outside and if it's not snowing. Like, I live in Georgia. I remember one time my man Mitch, y'all know Mitch. Mitch was on the Safe Space podcast with Yachty, right? Me and Mitch was somewhere, we was getting some food, and it was hot as shit this day. Might have been like 90 degrees. It was the summertime. It's a dude walking down the street. He got on a shiesty, right? Like a wool joint, a tank, and some shorts. Brother, what are you doing? like, what are you doing? Well, today we're going to talk about Pooh Shiesty's career, and I'm also writing this young brother a letter. You know what I'm saying? Pooh Shiesty was actually locked up in the feds with my little bro Sauce. Free Sauce, that's my little bro. He doing some time. But I always speak to him. He always called me. He let me know that they was in the same facility. Neither here nor there, but just shouts out to my bro. But I want to talk about his career accolades first, because I think a lot of people get it twisted. I seen people talking shit when he got out. Like, don't nobody listen to no Pooh Shiesty. Let's go through some of his accolades, though. Let's go through some of his accolades. All right, let's start it out with Shit of Duck. Lil Durk featuring him, that's platinum. Jack Harlow and Pooh Shiesty SUVs, platinum. Moneybagg Yo, SRT, platinum, featuring Pooh Shiesty Back in Blood, multi-platinum, right? Then you get to Main Slime, gold. Guard Up, gold. Switch It Up, gold. Now, I mean, Shiesty seasoned the project, platinum, right? Then you get Neighbors with Big 30, platinum. Monday to Sunday, platinum. Now, I mean, Big Scar record featuring him, gold. Allegations, Big 30 featuring him, gold. Man, listen. Big Purr, right? Coi Leray featuring Pooh Shiesty, gold. Twerk Some, gold. So let's just put things in perspective. Pooh Shiesty is an artist coming out of Memphis. Y'all know what Memphis been doing over the past, I say like, I mean, for a long time. My introduction to Memphis as a kid was 3 6 Mafia. Shouts out to my sis Erin. Her family from Memphis, she used to come home back to Harlem with the tapes, put us on, play that shit for us. I ain't know what it was, but that's how my introduction. Then 8 Ball and MJG, Mace's first album, Harlem World. That's my first time of it hearing about 8 Ball and MJG. Then me working at QC, I worked with Duke Deuce. You know what I'm saying? I worked with Gloss Up. Vaguely worked with Glorilla. I didn't let her in the studio before because she had to record. Interviewed Glorilla in Memphis at Birthday Bash with my bro, Rob Markman. Also, you know, just CMG. You know what I mean? I've worked with CMG in a certain capacity. I've interviewed Key Glock before multiple times. Interviewed Young Dolph, rest in peace. Memphis has been doing their thing for a long time. The problem that comes with Memphis is a lot of violence. One thing that we've seen Memphis be notorious for is the amount of violence and how fast and reactionary shit goes down. We've all seen the wars. I don't do that type of content regarding the wars. Y'all got all other channels that you could go to for that. But we've all seen the wars, and we know a lot of the stories about the beef that's going on. We just seen Hernandez Govan, the guy who they said was involved with Young Dolph's death. Him just beat all the charges. We seen just multiple things, man, multiple things. Memphis, what I like about Memphis is that it's a rich city with a lot of culture, great food, music, the blues, great people, but it's really, really, really overshadowed by the bullshit. Many may not know what got Pooh Shiesty locked up in the first place. Let's go back to that, and then we going to talk about this letter that I'm writing this brother.
Now, in just one station, surveillance cameras showing a new view of a violent shootout in a parking lot of a South Florida apartment building. The barrage of bullets sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Broad daylight bullets, 2 hit, over $500,000 in exotic cars. All of it on surveillance video obtained exclusively by 7 News from October in ultra-quiet Bay Harbor Islands.
I got that night because I'm fine.
And it involves a recording artist, Pooh Shiesty, except unlike this clip, what happened here was no music video. The footage shows a McLaren sports car, Mercedes Maybach, and another Mercedes pull into this East Bay Harbor Drive condo parking lot. Men from the vehicles eventually get out and meet, and then this. The man in the white shirt has a pistol. The man in the black sweatshirt has a longer gun, and at about the same time, they begin firing before retreating back to the Maybach. The fancy getaway cars speed off, and one of 2 victims then hobbles to the car.
Skyforce 836.
The victims ended up at Aventura Hospital with injuries. But back to the scene for a moment. Police say the famous rapper was in that McLaren.
If I shoot my gun 300 shots.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands, and days before an arrest.
The town of Bay Harbor Islands says you're wanted for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
He's also charged with armed robbery. Bay Harbor Police names one other for aggravated battery in their affidavit, saying the 2 left the state in a private jet. Police also using these Instagram photos, showing Shiesty with an assault-style rifle and cash as part of their case. They say the shooting came as one of the victims tried selling high-end sneakers and marijuana.
Who, they got the right guy?
Sheldon Fox.
Now, Pooh, you know, he was sentenced to 63 months, 5 years and a couple of months after that. You know what I mean? He was sentenced. He went, he did his time, and now he's back, right? He's already doing all the rapper shit. Yeah, he's already doing all the rapper shit. And let me just tell you, a lot of people who have gone to prison or gone to jail, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same to me, been locked up, lost their freedom. They've come home and they fumbled the opportunities that was left before them. We see them come home. It's a bunch of money. It's a bunch of cars. It's a bunch of jewelry. It's a bunch of running around and being seen within the mix or being back in the mix. But seldomly have we seen people take advantage of coming home after having long anticipations. Rowdy Rubber and Bobby Shmurda. Most recently, Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? What I want to say to Pooh Shiesty is this, right? This is what I would like for this young man to know. Shiesty, like, first off, this message is not just for him. It is for him, but it's for any young brother or sister that's out here that has been incarcerated and has to readjust back into society. First and foremost, you have an opportunity, right? You have an opportunity to see your freedom again. It seems like he made a very, very bad decision or was mixed up in a very, very bad group of people, because for him to have so many things going on, like we read all the accolades about these gold and platinum albums, influence, right? Him being able to have a ski mask nicknamed after him. That ski mask, while, you know, a lot of people used it as a fashion statement, for a lot of others it wasn't. That ski mask might have been the last thing a lot of people said in the name of the Shiesty. So I think that, you know, you ain't got to go gospel twin, but you do got to do some readjusting. You know what I mean? You got to do some readjusting and rebranding. I think that the trajectory that he was on, he was the standout out of the whole 1017, and, you know, Gucci done tore that whole label apart. But seeing that he had a skill set that was permitting him to not only have music that was translating, that motherfuckers was jacking in all regions. Like, I've seen people from everywhere from the West Coast to down south and even New York love a record like Get It Back in Blood, regardless to what it may represent. The game is different now. The game is different. I think that there is a space for people who do the music like Pooh Shiesty, but it's all about the message that's being portrayed or how it's being delivered. Now, I don't expect Pooh Shiesty to come home and be on some straight, I done gave my life to God, I'm not in the streets no more. You know what I mean? As you can see, he's still rocking the ski mask. I don't foresee him doing a total 180. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him doing a total 180. And, you know, there's a part of arrogance in hip hop where we all feel like we got to pop our shit. But going from that, Shiesty, what I want to say to you is just be smart about every move that you can possibly make, right? There are new opportunities in branding for you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you can do to kind of explain what it is that you went through being behind bars. Like I said, my little bro was locked up in the same facility as him, and it was on lockdown a lot of times. I remember I spoke to him, and he was just telling me like, yo, we was on lockdown for like a month. So, you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of violence, a lot of just a lot of BS going on in there. I think that this is an ample opportunity for him to share his story in a positive light by highlighting the negative parts of it, right? Like you just was in prison for 5 years, 4.5 years, almost 4.5, almost 5 years, about 5 years. He was in prison for about 5 years, right? You just was in prison for that long. Tell your story. Don't be apologetic about it, but I don't foresee him being the face of reform or him doing all that he could do for prevention, but just be smart about how you move out here, man. Like, as you can see, once he went to prison, there's been a lot of RICOs happening in multiple places, right? Police are now saying, we're not gonna go and get one person or two people or maybe even 5 people. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait until a collective establishes some bullshit, and then we're gonna go get after all of them. So I would advise, like, you know what I mean, stay away from all them people that they say that they loved you and all that, and they your homies, they were your homies, but if they're not trying to elevate, and go to another level, which you were on the trajectory, like, bro, that nigga, he was right there. Like, don't get it twisted. In today's climate, it's not easy to get records that resonate with people and they actually listen enough to where you go in gold and platinum. I know, you know what I'm saying, it might seem like that, but it's not like that. Influence. Be mindful of what these children is watching, bro. Again, I know Pooh Shiesty is not about to turn into Kirk Franklin, nor do I want him to. I feel like, you know, the street element of hip hop, no matter where you come from, can still be told depending on how you're delivering it. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing, depending on how you're delivering it. I mean, he still is very, very, very young. That's why you seeing him doing all the money spreads and all that shit. And I'm gonna keep it 100, that shit is old. A long time ago, you know what I'm saying? A long time ago, when it first started happening, I felt like it was like this eye-catching thing, but then money became this such an accessible tool. Such an accessible tool that almost, it seemed like, you know that commercial, So Easy a Caveman Could Do It? That's what that shit became. That's what money ended up becoming. And you have an opportunity to, if you want to play with money, man, start investing. Start investing, man. Take that bread. I see you done got a new chain. I ain't knocking it. Go get your chain. I love to see black people shine. Go get your chains, your watches, get it all out your system. But all that other excess money that you may be getting, invest that shit, man. Invest it, because even though you was away, there's tons of money that you missed out on, tons of opportunity you missed out on, tons of things that you was doing where you could have had your people in position had you been here. Now you got to learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and learn from the mistakes of others. Learn from the mistakes of others. Look at all the other niggas who done came home. You know what I'm saying? They done came home and they wasted a lot of time partying, or they wasted a lot of time talking. Get right back to it. Don't make people wait. Don't make them wait till next year. Man, drop a record. Drop 4 records, 5 records this side of the year. Drop an EP. Drop an EP this side of the year, man. Drop an EP, feed your base. I would like to say, this is me speaking from my own experiences. While I'm not a person that spent any time in prison other than to be there as a speaker and to take a visit with somebody, when people go to prison in my life, it affects me. Because, you know, you wanna have that time with your friends. You wanna have that, choose your time wisely. Time is a commodity, man. I mean, it's an asset. Time is a luxury. Time is something that we can't afford to give up. Nothing's worth your time that can take your time away from you. And lastly, what I want to say is, we all seen that video, you know what I mean? You got to switch it up, bro. It's not going to be popping no more to have 10 guns in the video. And I feel like he was doing, like with the song Neighbors, like he was doing kind of creative, you know, videos and all that, but get back in that bag. If you're going to do street shit, get back in that bag where you could keep people's eyes on you, because the 100 guns, the 100 homies, the y'all standing on top of cars doing money spreads, that shit is old and it's getting out of style. It's tremendously out of style, because the person who didn't even work half as hard as you can do it now. You know what I mean? The scammer kids look just like the rappers. The scammers look like the what's that? The streamers. You know what I mean? And even with the streaming stuff, just be careful about the places you put yourself in and the people you decide to associate with. You know what I'm saying? Be very, the people, and this is for all of y'all, man. This is for all of y'all that's watching. I don't care if you work a corporate 9 to 5, if you're in the streets, if you're an entrepreneur. Listen, be very mindful of who you allow into your circumference. Be very mindful of who you allow into your home. The energy that these people bring to you can bring you the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? The energy can bring you down badly. You know what I'm saying? I seen this one actor, he said, I think, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, man, it's hard for a good person to bring a bad person up, but it's real easy for a bad person to bring a good person down. And just be mindful of that. And this is for all of y'all. I mean, this letter is the Shiesty, but this is for all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Watch who you around. Watch the fucking people. Women, watch the men that you date. If you talk to a dude and every time you talk to him, you know, he even if he might not have everything together and you willing to try with him, but every time he just talk negatively about his situation. He can't see the cup as half full. He sees that shit as half empty. He never's positive, can never see the bright side of things. Don't associate with that. I don't care how much he love you or how much he knocking your head off. You know what I mean, my sisters? Don't let that in your circumference. Same for the dudes. Man, listen, don't let no women, you know what I mean, that's not on no positive or trying to do anything with themselves that's going to be conducive to your future. And this is for both of y'all, for men and women. Don't let anybody come around y'all that's not trying to do anything that is conducive to your futures. If you woke up today, you are extremely blessed. You're extremely blessed. If you made it to work this morning, you're extremely blessed. If you're watching this, you're extremely blessed. And hit that like and hit that sub. But I just want y'all to understand how precious life is. You know what I mean? Going back and watching that video of Pooh Shiesty and his homies, they probably thought that shit was just going to happen for nothing. Now, you know what I mean? They probably thought, oh man, we going over there and listen, nobody anticipated for that to happen. But that's also the people that was around. I ain't see Pooh Shiesty up no hammer or nothing. But for him to be the breadwinner, for him to be the guy that could change everybody's situation and having to be the fall, like be in the fall, I don't know how many other people caught cases within that situation, but for him to be where he was going and to catch that fall just shows, man, don't let that bullshit around you, yo, for real. This is I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, I know y'all will. And I know you going to stay after this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.